Hello online viewers, welcome to our CAD tutorial. In this CAD tutorial, we are going to draw the 3D model of this Arch-Bridge. We are going to draw all the parts of this Arch-Bridge. We are going to draw all the hangers, deck, arc tie and wind bracing as well. So at the end of the video, our 3D model of the bridge is going to look like this. So if you want to learn how you can draw this bridge, I'll be explaining it step by step. So stay tuned till end of the video so that you can easily learn how you can draw your bridge with your own dimensions as well. So firstly, what I need to do is I'm going to set up my drawing. So firstly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my rectangle. So as you can see here, my bridge is of length 50 meter and the width of my bridge is 12 meter. So in order for that, firstly I'll be creating rectangle, but before that, first of all I need to set up units. So I'll be selecting UNITS units. Click on units, and since I'll be using the unit of meter, so let me click on meters. After that, click on OK. So firstly I'll be drawing a rectangle of dimensions 50 into 12. So let me draw my rectangle. So click on rectangle and select a certain point. After that, click on dimensions. Then it tells you to specify the length of the rectangle. So let me enter 50 as length and let me enter 12 as width. After that, click enter. So now I have my required rectangle. Next, what I need to do is I'll be exploding this rectangle. So click on the command X, explode, and your rectangle gets exploded. Now I can select my individual lines. So what I'll be doing next is I'll be offsetting this line 1 meter downward. So let me click on the command offset and select 1, click on enter, and offset it 1 meter downward and this also 1 meter upward. So basically I'm offsetting this to create this arrangement. So in order to create this arrangement where my hangers will be placed, so over here as you can see, to create this arrangement where my hangers will be placed, I have shifted it 1 meter. So next what I'll be doing is back in my drawing I'll be creating another rectangle. So I need to create another rectangle of 1 meter by 1 meter. So let me select this endpoint. I'm going to select a rectangle. So let me select a rectangle and let me go into the endpoint, and this time I'm going to create a square of 1 meter by 1 meter. So again, go into dimensions, select a 1 for length and 1 for width, and you get your required square, and let me place it over this side. So we'll be needing this square to create the 3D model for our arc. So next what I need to do is I need to create an arc, and let me explain over here. My length of arc is 50 meter while my height of the arc is 10 meter. So in order to draw my arc of required length, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select a line. I'm going to go into the midpoint of the line. If you are not getting this midpoint option, what you need to do is you need to make sure that you have turned on your snap mode, and you have make sure you have tick mark midpoint as well. So next what I need to do is let me select line command. Let me go to the midpoint of this and let me enter the length of 10 meters and click on enter. After that, in order to draw my arc, I'm going to select arc and I'm going to select the 3-point method. And what I need to do next is click on endpoint and make sure you select the second point at the 10-meter mark, and next you are going to select it over here at the endpoint, and we can delete this line now. Erase. So in this way I've selected my arc. Now in order to draw my hangers, so as you can see here, these rods which are inclined, these are called as hangers. As you can see here, these are called as hangers. All these are called as, these cross marks are called as hangers. And in order to draw my hangers, I'm going to need to draw some circles. So I'm going to select some circles, and let me go right over here in the midpoint, and I'm going to draw circles of which looks perfect. I don't have any required dimension for this, but for the circle I'm going to draw it in such a way that it looks good and it fits inside this shape. So what I need to do is I'm going to create many circles. So I'm going to use the command path array. So click on path array, select path curve. So I'm going to select this line, and this way I have gotten my circles, but I don't need this amount of circles. So let me click on circles, and then what you need to do is click on measure and go on divide. So you need to click on divide, and this time I'm going to select about 14 circles. So I need 14 circles, so I'm going to click on 14. and this way I have my 14 circles. I can now close array. So this way I have done it. So I don't need this circle outside, so I'm going to use explode command again. So click on the circle, click on X, click on explode, and I'm going to delete the circle which is outside, so I'm going to simply erase it. After you are done drawing your circles and arcs, what I need to do next is I need to turn this my arc. I need to turn this arc upward, and in order to turn my arc upward, and in order to turn my arc upward, I'm going to select the command 3D rotate. So type 3D. So you can see 3D rotate firstly. So select my arc, right click, and it tells you to specify base point, and you're going to set this red mark. So click on this red line and make sure you have turned on your ortho mode, and rotate it this way. So rotate it downward. You can either you can also keep the angle of 270 degrees, as you can see as you can see over here. I have my rotation angle of 270, so you can directly put 270, or you can rotate this way as well. So select enter, and after left click on your mouse, next I need to move it. So let me click on my command move. So I need to place my arc right over here. Turn off your ortho mode. You can turn off your ortho mode now and place it over here. Place it over here. So this way I have turned my arc upward as well. So I have already got a little bit of 3D model. So what I need to do next is, in order to completely turn into 3D model, I am going to use my command sweep. So in the ribbon, you can need to click down over here and click on sweep. After clicking on sweep, it tells you you need to select the square. Select this square and right click and click on enter and select this arc. So here we have our 3D model of our arc. So we had created that square for this reason only. So next what I need to do is, as you can see from my 3D model, I have already created my arc, I have already created the base. Next I need my hangers. So in order to draw my hangers, so in order to select these hangers, we need to draw these hangers. So let me get back to my drawing. So in order to draw my hangers, I have already drawn my circles, I have already drawn my required circles. So I've already drawn my required circles, and at this point of the circle I'll be drawing my hangers. So next I'll be using the command line. So let me select line command, and let me go into these circles, and let me go into the midpoint of the circle, and let me draw my hangers. I'm going to draw my hangers at certain inclinations, like at 64 degrees seems fine. Don't draw the line much up or much down. Make sure it just selects the arc. So let me select it, then make sure it just touches the arc. So let me select it over here. You can draw it at any elevations, you can draw it at any inclination which suits you. So it's done, and next I'll be using, so let me draw. So what you can do next is, in order to make your work easier, I'm going to select midpoints. I'm going to draw the circle at the middle, and I'm going to draw it at certain inclinations as well. Let me draw it at inclinations of about 72 or about 68, 69, 70 degrees. Okay, you can do that, and make sure it just touches the arc. And you can see this arc is perfectly inclined. uh, Next what you need to make sure that the line does not fall off or behind the arc. So if you haven't drawn the arc perfectly, it is going to be drawn left or right of the arc. So you need to make sure, and make sure you check it. You are going to use this command, 3D orbit command. So in order to check it, so after doing that, what I'm going to do is, I'm simply going to copy this line, and I'm going to click on copy selection and select the base point over here, and simply shift it to the center of all the remaining other circles. You can simply do this. Make sure you have turned off your ortho mode. Shift it to the center. This process is a little bit it's going to be a little bit time consuming, because you have to do the manually for all your arcs. So more the number of arcs, more the time you are going to take. So let me quickly do this, and let me shift it to all my other arcs as well. This and this, done. You can put it over here as well. So let me simply delete the first one which I had done. So next, these lines are way up of it, so let me pull it back. Make sure you have turned off your ortho mode, and make sure you follow the same line. make sure you trace it back properly. You need to make sure that you trace it back properly, otherwise if you don't trace it back, the lines are going to fall off the arc and you're going to get some mistakes in your arc drawing. So make sure you turn off your ortho mode and trace the arc back properly. So you need to do it like this. The arc needs to be perfectly touching the arc. The lines need to be perfectly touching your arc. So shift it. You need to do this for all your other arcs as well. There are no any shortcut commands as far as I know. So this is you need to do it manually for all your hangers. So let me trace it back. So it got a little bit downward, so let me pull it up. One of the important thing which you need to understand is you need to make sure you have turned off your ortho mode. The ortho mode must be turned off. And let me select this line as well. Select the endpoint and push it back, and push it back to your original, and push it back just, and push it back in such a way that it just touches the arc. And while doing all this, you need to click on your 3D orbit command and check this arc from the side. In some cases, when you have not drawn your arc perfectly, these lines tend to fall off from your arc, not being perfectly attached, so you are going to have some error as well. So make sure you check that as well. And these lines need to be perfectly touching the arc, not little bit down, not little bit up, just perfectly touching the arc. So for this point as well, you need to make sure. So this is how your drawing is going to look after you have finished joining all your lines to the arc. So I have drawn my hangers at certain directions. So as you can see here in my 3D model, my arcs are drawn at both directions. They are in a crisscross shape. So let me draw my arcs in another direction as well. So let me select the line command again and go to the middle of the circle. Select 3D orbit and just go to the middle. Select it properly. Select the line command and select a line. Select this line. Go to the center of it and draw in other direction, and draw your line in other direction, and make sure you choose the right inclination. Right now I am choosing the inclination of 90 degree. You can select the inclination as per your demand. So next you need to repeat the same. Select the drawing, right click, copy selection, and you need to repeat the same process and copy it at each and every center of the circles. So whatever step you had done before, you need to repeat the same again. So let me just shift it at each and every circles. And one of the important thing which you need to understand is you need to make sure you have turned on your snap mode. If you turn on your snap mode, you'll be able to locate the center of the circle and the end point easily, and your work will be much simpler. So you need to simply go down over here and make sure you have turned on all these points. So if you have reached till this part of the video, you must be enjoying this video and you must be understanding it. So do subscribe the channel and like this and like the channel. Next you will be following the same step. Stretch it back, turn off your ortho mode and stretch it back, just touching the arc. So you need to repeat the same process all over again. This process is little bit time consuming and tedious, but there are no shortcuts for this. So repeat the same. So you need to repeat it. So you need to do this again and make sure, and you need to check the arcs are falling off or not behind the arc as well. That process is very important. Select your lines and push it and stretch it back so that it just touches the arc. Select it and push it back. And you need to do this for your each and every inclined lines. These lines will be next converted into hangers. We'll be converting these 2D lines into 3D hangers. We are going to firstly use the command circle. So let me select the command circle. Click on your circle command and go to the center and draw a concentric circle which is little bit smaller, which is just around of this much size, which needs to be about 1/4 or 1/3 the size of the previous circle which you have drawn. Next select this circle and click on move, and move this circle out of your arc. And what you need to do is you need to copy the circle and you need to create multiple copies. Make sure you create as much copies as many copies. So right now I'm just creating random copies. So all these circles will be used for converting these lines into angles. So next we'll be using the sweep command again. As we use the sweep command to convert our arc into 3D, next we'll be using sweep model to sweep. Next we'll be using sweep command to convert our lines into 3D angles. So select on sweep command, select your circle, right click, enter, and then click your lines, and then it will be simply converted easily into 3D. So you need to simply do this. You need to repeat this command for all your lines. Click on sweep command, click on circle, and then click on your lines. Sweep command, select your circle, right click, enter, and then click on your line again. So this way we'll be converting our lines into 3D. So this is how your drawing is going to look after you have successfully drawn all your hangers and after you have already completed your all lines into 3D models. So as I explained before, you are going to use sweep command, your circle and your line, and you are going to convert it into 3D model. It is a little bit time consuming, but there are not any shortcut methods for this. So after you have successfully done this, we are going to use next is press pull command. In the ribbon button over here, click on press pull, and we are going to draw our side barriers. So what you need to do is you need to go over here and you need to select this triangle, and you need to select extrusion height of about 0.3, 0.2 or 0.1 will be perfect. 0.1, yes, 0.1. And what I need to do next is I need to so as you can see here in our drawing, we have drawn this, we have drawn this, we have drawn all the left portion of the bridge, but the right portion has exact same thing. We have the same arc, same angles, and same barriers. So for that what we are going to do is we are not going to draw it all over again. We are going to use the command 3D mirror. So we are going to use the command 3D mirror, and we are going to select each and everything. So simply select it, make sure you select every component and this component as well, and then right click, and it tells you to specify first point. We are going to select this midpoint, and next point is going to be this midpoint. Then you need to turn on your ortho mode and select somewhere point down below, and it tells you to delete source object. We are going to select on no. So this way, as you can see here, we have simply drawn our arc at right side as well. So our 3D model is almost complete. So next what we are going to do is we are going to draw the wind bracing. So let me take you to the top view of our bridge. So as you can see here in the top view, we have this wind bracing arrangement. So in order to draw this wind bracing arrangement, what we're going to do is firstly we are going to isolate. We are going to let me select all the arcs. Make sure you select all the arcs. So in order to draw the wind bracing, what are we going to do is firstly we are going to hide all these hangers. It is going to be a bit confusing if we have all these hangers. So let me just so firstly we'll be selecting all these hangers. Let me select this all these hangers, select all these hangers, and we are going to hide them for a while. We're going to temporarily hide them. So let me select this and this as well. Right click on your mouse and going to isolate and hide objects. So they are right now being hid for a certain time. You can use your 3D orbit command to rotate around your 3D model, and for this side as well, make sure you select all the hangers. They are not gone anywhere, they are just being hide for certain time until we are finished drawing our wind bracing. So right click and isolate hide objects. So go to the top view of this, and exactly over here we are going to use line command, simply line command. And you need to find, what you can do is you can remove these circles as well. You can hide this circle as well. So select all these circles and hide them as well. It will be easier for us. Hide all the circle as well. If we have all those circles and hangers, it is just going to be bit difficult and confusing to draw our wind bracing. So we're going to hide all of them. So select all the circles and right click, isolate, hide objects. So firstly we are going to use the line command. Find the midpoint of the arc exactly over here and pull it downward. make sure you have to turn on your ortho mode and pull it right across the other part, and let me see that. And you need to check, and you need to check the lines. This was the mistake I was talking about. As you can see here, the line is floating somewhere around, so you don't want this mistake. So let me erase this one more time. So that's the mistake you don't want while drawing your hangers as well. So in order to avoid getting such error, what you can do is, don't go for your exact top view of your model. Use your orbit command and tilt your arc a little bit downward, and go back to your drawing. You can use escape command for that. Then you are going to use the line command, and after selecting the line command, you need to select this lowermost arc, select the midpoint, and go back to your drawing and select the lowermost arc as well, and click on enter. After doing that, use your orbit command, and as you can see here, the arc is perfectly placed. It is not changing from its position. So after drawing your first line, what I need to do is, I need to draw my other lines as well. So in order to draw my other lines, as I mentioned before, I need to make sure that my arc is bit inclined, not perfectly at top view. So select line command and make sure you are in the lower arc, and just move a little bit left, and move a little bit right to the left arc, and make sure you have turned on your ortho mode and zoom it in and place it perfectly over here. After doing this, so let me just turn it around, and as you can see here, it is perfectly fitted over here now. So let me get back to it again. Select your line command and make your third marking as well, and place it over somewhere around here. Make sure you select them perfectly, and turn on your ortho mode and place it exactly at the bottom arc. So this way you can draw your wind bracing as well. Now they are in 2D, we'll be converting them in 3D as well. So I need to draw them in left part as well. So let me see where it perfectly fits. So it fits around here. So let me see that. Let me check that up. Okay, it is perfectly fitted. And click it over here, right click, copy selection, select the midpoint, and see where it perfectly fits. So you don't need to be perfect on this. So you can just select, you can just place it where it perfectly fits. So okay, so it fits quite over here, no, not here. Let me do it again. Select it over here, right click, copy selection. I'm going to select this point, and let me see where it fits perfectly. Let me see. So it fits quite over, it fits over here. So let me place it over here, and let me check it, and it is perfect. Next I need to draw. So now I need to draw the crisscross arrangement at the top. So as you can see here, over here in its top view, you have your crisscross arrangement, you have your K-shaped bracing. So I need to draw that K as. So now to draw your wind bracing, what I need to simply do is, you need to select the line command and go to the end point of this line. Make sure you go to the end point and go into the midpoint of this line. You get to this triangle and go back to the midpoint. Again use the line command and select, go to the end point and go to the midpoint and back to the end point. And this way as well you have to do the same. Go to the end point, select the midpoint and back to the end point. For this line as well, make sure you go to the end point, click on the midpoint and back to the end point. So let me have a check on it, and it is perfectly done. Now to convert it into 3D model, we are going to do the same step again. Click on sweep command, click on the circle, right click, enter, click on your line. It gets converted into 3D model. Sweep command, select your circle, right click, enter, click on your window bracing. Sweep command, right click, enter. Look, so this is how your drawing, is going to look after you have completed the wind bracing as well. Now since my drawing is everything is complete, I need to go back to isolate, and I'm going to end of the isolation. So now let me convert it into 3D. Now change it to shades of gray, and now you have finally completed your 3D model as well. So in this way, after everything being complete, this is how my 3D model looks. So I have drawn my arc, wind bracing, hangers. Everything has been successfully, everything has been drawn. So now the only thing remaining is the deck or the road. So and in order to show that, now let me draw my road as well. So in order to draw your road, we are going to be using the press pull command. So you select over here, select on the press pull, and you're going to select the, let me just go a little bit to change the view a little bit, and we are going to click on the press pull command and select it downward. We're going to select the press pull command and we're going to select it downward. We are going to select we're going to put height of about 0.5. 0.5 will be okay. So now we have drawn our road as well. So now let me see this. Okay, it's been drawn. Now from the top view, we need to draw the arrangement. We need to draw the white lines in the road. So for that, select the line, go to the midpoint of the line over here. So firstly, let me draw line type as well. Now I can go back. Now I can go back to my 2D model to in order to draw the shades of the line, shades of the road, in order to draw the white markings of the road. So let me go into by layer, from properties, go into by layer, go into other, and let me load, and let me select this as well, ISO, and let me change the global scale factor as well. Let me change it to about 0.7. 0.7. Click on, let me select this and click on OK. So let me go back to, so let me go back to properties, by layer, and by going to by layer and select this, and going to by layer and select the line of, thickness of 0.30 mm, and click the command elevate. So next we'll be using the command elevate. So click on elevate and tick mark the command display line weight, click on OK. So now go to your line command and simply from the midpoint to this midpoint select it. So right now let me just change my line color as well, by layer and select the white color, and let me see, go over here and let me draw it. Yes, my line has been drawn in ortho mode, and go into the right over here, and in this way I have drawn my white marking for the road as well. So let me, we can change the global scale factor a bit. So what you can do over here is, in order to make it a little bit tidy, go into other and change the global scale factor from 0.7 to 0.5. 0.5, click on OK. Okay, and your white marking are perfect as well. So in this way I have perfectly drawn my, I have perfectly drawn the 3D model for my Arch-Bridge. Hope this video was helpful to you, and if it was of any help to you, do subscribe the channel, do like the video, it will mean the world to me. And if you have any queries, do comment down below. Thank you very much.